Hey guys, welcome back to another Redstone Science. In this episode, the cobblestone generator. To begin with, you will need a water source and a lava source. You will note that if you have a lava source that is in a column, water will not affect the column. It will not change either the lava or the water. However, if you were to get the lava to spread into where the water is, you will get cobblestone generated. But you don't actually need lava to spread into where water is. With the water setup where it is right now, it won't actually spread into the space where the glass is, but the lava will spread, and it will be touching the water source, or will be directly adjacent to. So, it will create cobblestone as well. And like this, you can actually get a double cobblestone generation going, which you could put a couple of pistons and start using that way. It's also worth noting that if you have lava coming straight down into where water is spreading, you will actually get smooth stone, or just regular stone. Now, the very basic concept of a stone generator is you have pistons pushing the cobblestone out of the way from where it was generated. So you have piston extend and more cobblestone generated. But you'll also note that the piston in this method is staying up far too long. And all the time that it is spent still extended actually reduces the time, or increases the time that stone will need to generate. So generally you will need to put a monostable signal through. So this will only send a 1-tick pulse into the piston, so it will extend really quickly and retract immediately. As you can see, there's already space. Do that again. There you see the basic concept. And if you have a clock sending a new signal into this at a steady pace, you can set it to always create cobblestone as soon as it's created, or rather in the maximum amount of time that it takes to create cobblestone, which is somewhere in the range of 1 second and 4 ticks, or 4/10 of a second, to 1 second and 6/10. Somewhere in that range is the maximum. It will spawn cobble much quicker, potentially, but I generally set my clocks to send out a new signal every 16 ticks. Over here we have the cobblestone generator that I used in my LP. It has 4 spawning cobblestone spawning areas above all of these pistons here. I have it all replaced with glass so you can more easily see it, but the redstone concept behind it is exactly the same. So we have over here a monostable circuit leading into all the pistons, and you will see that all the pistons raise at the same time, and then cobblestone will be generated right where the pistons retracted from. There it is. Now, as I mentioned, I have a clock set to this. An easy way to keep the clock off is to have a torch that you can toggle. That will freeze the torch in one state or another, and it'll prevent it from ticking as it normally would. You can see glass is still coming out of this, but that was, again, just so you can see more clearly what's going on here. And I forgot to mention that I have water source blocks in the corners and 1 lava source in the middle. And I would recommend covering, at the very least, the lava source with an obsidian block, because very likely as you're picking away at this, you will accidentally pick this and then fall into the lava, which I have done a few times actually, the first time I made one of these. So let's start up the clock so you can see what this looks like. As I said, it's getting rid of the glass now. And if we break that, we can see that it will all be replaced with cobblestone. Now this is a fairly simple, low resource type of cobblestone generator, and it's probably one that I will mainly use whenever I need cobblestone. But sometimes you need stone, and I have over here a lot more complicated a build, but it's actually still really simple. I wanted a way to make stone in the same form, or at least at the same rates, and this will actually, in the one column here, create stone as fast as that cobblestone generator. So the way that happens is that there are actually 4 points where smooth stone will generate, right in front of these pistons here. Let me go to my cutaway over here so you can better see that. So you have 2 water sources on either side of where lava will pour down, because for some reason sometimes one water source will not spread faster than the lava comes down, and then you can create a problem there. Though it will eventually fix itself with the piston extending and returning back. So, although it might also cause your water sources to turn into stone. So if you have 2 source blocks, you have a better chance of that not happening. So I have 1 source block in every corner, 1 lava, 1 raised on every side, just above where the stone is generated. And what happens is I send a signal into this obsidian over here. I have the obsidian so that when this is done, it won't force the pistons on the opposite side out, which would also break the mechanics of it all. So once the obsidian gets a signal, the horizontal piston will extend, pushing the stone over the vertical piston, and then one tick later, a redstone signal will reach the vertical piston, causing the stone to go upwards. So let's see that in action. And instead of having a single clock power everything is a single clock. You'll notice all these repeaters going around in a line. When I turn this on, it will send a monostable pulse into this block here. So 1 tick will go around, passing through each repeater. Along with the lever going down, this piston will extend, and that's just a shut-off mechanism. And that will have each side sending a signal, or pushing a new stone into the middle, and each time it goes around, it'll push the middle piston. So down here will be the best view, so let me try to get a good view there. There you go. It's pretty intense. It's already done. It's already generated. Let's see, all the glass has been pushed out. How many is that? 7 pieces of glass that I had there. Which is why it kind of looked like it wasn't really doing anything at first, but it was. Now let's have a look at it from up here, because this is ridiculously fast. Oh, a funny thing that happens every now and then, because of the way it stops, occasionally one stone won't generate on one side, and it'll just kind of push it back and forth. And that'll happen because while the center piston is trying to push the stone up and is no longer able to, it'll just allow the piston on the other side to push both the stone generated there and the one above the vertical piston over to the other side, which will halve the amount of time that the stone generates normally. So it will eventually fix itself, and you'll have this still ticking away, lagging your game. So you always want to turn them off. It's always a good idea, even with this one, especially with this one actually, because you have the monostable circuit going each time. But always turn them off. Always have an off option. It's just best. Having tons of clocks going on in your world is usually not a good idea. So I just look over this again. in case you really wanted to build this yourself. Here's going to be the main view for each side of the piston. This is one piston, and this design here is just rotated around it to all 4 sides. And you have 4 repeaters between each piston, and that way, when it comes all the way around back to the same piston, exactly 16 ticks will have passed. And it's fairly easy to continue this. You just have the one block with the piston on top, and then you build 2 blocks out from the bottom and 1 back up. You put redstone on those, a repeater there, obsidian block on top, and then you have repeaters going into there. You could have this block down with a piece of redstone, but I like to save the redstone whenever possible. And just like that. And of course you do the same over here. And once more on the opposite side. And that will be the whole thing. You also want to make a platform across the bottom here, just above where the repeaters are. That will house your water sources, as well as the pistons that extend. These will go just in front of the obsidian blocks. And you want to make sure that you don't have these have any openings where the water can flow through, because that will ultimately cause a problem for you. You can see, just like that. Fortunately, in this particular case, it isn't actually affecting anything. It's just kind of flowing right through. So one more source there. And then you just build a platform for where the lava is going to be. Fill it with lava. And your stone starts to generate already. So once you have that all the way around, all you need is a monostable circuit sending a pulse into the clock and a way to turn it off. I'll show you this here again. That piston extends, allowing the signal to go through, and as it's pulled back, the signal stops right there. Okay, and that's going to be it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. As always, I'd love to see what you guys come up with, and I will catch you next time.